And thank you and welcome everyone to this session on some basics of internet website. I don't know what background do you have, and we may not have a lot of time to go in the room and ask the background of the nature of your business, or your background in marketing, or even the background in use of internet, because right now with all the technology, access to this kind of information is very accessible to everyone. And I'm sure some of you already have built a website. So what I'm trying to do is just go through the presentation and talk about key points that are relevant to what we build when we build a website, and probably put some practicalities on what are my recommendations or my thoughts about that. So, feel free to raise your hand if you have a question at a specific moment, and I can address it as it goes, and we can wait also at the end of the presentation. So we're going to talk about some basics, and in the website design, I would say we're going to talk about this and throughout the presentation. Let's remember that it's a database. The website, it is a big, huge database. And as a database, you are using keywords, or you're using key elements to identify data within the keywords. And the way those keywords are found are what is called the search engine optimization. That's what really is looking for those data online. And everything is residing in a place what we call the website. So we're going to talk a little bit about all these components throughout the presentation. So let's start with the concept of a database. Let's remember, I'm going to go probably a little back to technicalities. Let's remember that everything, all of the numbers, all of the text, letters, and all of the pictures, and even all the sounds, all are represented as numbers in the cyber world. Everything is a number. All the numbers are represented by numbers. All the letters are represented by numbers. Even the pictures are represented by numbers. And the numbers are pretty much in the binary system. The binary system is just simply a 1 and a 0. It's just a 1 and a 0. Everything becomes in that sense is digital, because it's a digit. It's just 1 and 0. So what we call a bit, sometimes a bit, is pretty much a binary digit. It's just a 1 or a 0. And a chunk of memory that is about 8 bits long is called a byte. So probably you have heard about megabytes and gigabytes and all this terminology that uses in this environment. So, for example, the letter B that we see in our right now on the screen, it is represented by 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0. So 0, 1, 4 zeros and 1, 1, 0. That's a digital. That's the digital representation of the letter B in capitals. But the letter B in small cursor is 0, 1, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0. So everything back there online, everything back there in the cloud and everything is just a series of infinitesimal zeros and ones. But even the picture or the color of you see on the screen, you can see in my presentation, there's a border that is orange, and there's a purple, and there's a green, there's a white. And even your self-reflection in the screen, even your self-reflection of your screen, every single unit that every picture element, which is a pixel, which is the smallest unit of an image, each pixel may be represented by 3 bytes. And we just saw a little minutes ago what a byte is, right? A byte is just a series of 8 numbers. And each byte may tell the computer how much, for the typo, how much red, how much blue, or how much green it is on the screen, so it can create the picture, how much color it is in that picture. And everything is just a numbers. Everything is a series of numbers. And that's why we can see now in artificial intelligence how because everything is numeric, it's easy just to make some predictions on things. So let's say, for example, in the website, the website is pretty much the internet is pretty much a huge book of data. It is a huge book of data where everybody is putting stuff. I don't know how many of you have put something online today. Maybe you post a picture with your friends on Facebook. Maybe you post something online. Maybe you're creating your website. Maybe everybody, every person that has access to a cell phone and a computer is putting stuff on the website. So think about it as a big book. It is a big book. And in that book, you're going to start looking for something. And every time you type a letter, let's say we type the letter A, automatically this system is going to start looking for all the letter A's, all the words in that book, all the things that start with that little A, with that letter A, and on that search. It's going to look for that little A. Then, but maybe you type another letter. When you type another letter N, of all the letters that the system found, is going to look now for the words that have the AN as the beginning of the sentence, AN, and it's going to start identifying the reports that we find in that database. All this is happening at the speed of light. All this is happening at the speed of light. So by the time you finish typing a word, the internet or the website already, the search engine of the system of the communication between your computer and the web, immediately identifies what is what, assuming what is what you're looking for within those parameters that you're looking for in that search. So, for example, if you go, and I don't know if you have seen sometimes when you're trying to look for a word and you're in a search engine, could be from Etsy, could be from Facebook, could be from Pinterest, from whatever site you're looking, that has a search engine, basically, that you're looking for information on the website. Once you start typing a letter, it starts giving you options of, it's not that the system is thinking, oh, are you looking for this? No, it's still simply telling you all the words that appear with those two letters, or those characters that you're typing into your screen. So, for example, in this case, maybe I want to put rodents, or I'm going to put road. I'm looking for a road, and start telling me all the options of letters that may be applicable with that RO. Or I can start typing the T. I just start typing the T and start giving me all these options of the words that start with T. Now, technology is more is much more advanced, that based on your searches that you have done with your computer, it will start filling out the words that you have used in the past within your computer, because that's what's called the cookies, and everything that you type, it is trackable. So the responses are going to be depending on what you're using or what you have used, and could be that right now we have 13, 14 participants, or 12 participants. Out of the 3, if we start typing something in our search engine, we're using Google, we're probably going to get different results, because they're going to be skewed to what we have searched before. And basically all this is possible because everything is digital. Everything is digital, and it travels at the speed of light. So, as I said, you can start writing some the few words, and the system is going to give you the information. Maybe I was looking here for periphery, right? And I start looking for PER, and I get periodontist, perfume, perinatal, personal, Persian, Peruvian. It starts giving me all the options that I'm looking for, that starts with that characteristic, with that letter. So when you are going to start with your website, why is this important? It is important because you need to see many times what people is looking for online to start building your website based on the searches that people are looking for. And a good place to start is a site that is called Google Trends. And right now there are many other applications and many other instruments that you pay a fee, and they will tell you all the words that have been used in the last 50 years, the most popular words for whatever marketing you want to do. But the one simple for us, we're small businesses. I mean, we're not a very sophisticated house of marketing, right? We're just small business. We just can go start with Google Trends, and Google Trends will tell us, for example, what you can type any word or any sentence and compare it to other one that you may be considering for your website. So, for example, I'm going to use example here. I want to make a Peruvian restaurant, right? And I look for Peruvian restaurant. It will tell me how many people or what's the interest or what's the trend, even in graphics, and even by state. It will tell me by state or by city, and they will tell me also what other words connected to Peruvian were given in the searches. But it will tell me what are the Peruvian restaurants. But then I want to compare it to probably Mexican restaurant. I want to see if I'm going to make a Peruvian restaurant or a Mexican restaurant. So I'm comparing Peruvian with Mexican restaurant, and I can see that Mexican restaurant has more numbers, has more searches than what is Peruvian restaurant. You can see the Peruvian shows some movement, but once I compare it with something else, the word Peruvian drops. So if I want to start a Peruvian restaurant, and I want to start in my website with the word Peruvian, guess what? Not a lot of people are looking for Peruvian restaurants, or not a lot of people are looking for Peruvian. So then I have to start looking for what other options can I have if I want to start getting more traffic in my website. And I've seen cases in which people build a website, but the website is built with what they thought the product is, and they want to sell, but it's not what the people are searching online. So then the next question, well, I don't want to call my restaurant Mexican, because it's not Mexican food. It's just a restaurant. Well, so try what do you compare restaurant? Use the word restaurant. That means that much more people are looking for the word restaurant online than they're looking for Mexican food, and that even they're looking for Peruvian restaurant. As you can see, the word restaurant is has much more searches online than it is Mexican. It flattens both of them. You know, when you use Mexican, it flattened the word Peruvian, and when you put restaurant, it flattens the word Mexican. And Mexican restaurants are probably popular. So if I'm going to start my website, if I'm going to use the word in my website, it will be silly for me to start every sentence with Peruvian food, Peruvian restaurant, Peruvian meals. It's better for me to start using the word restaurant. Yeah, right. I use the word restaurant that features food from Peru, or a restaurant that enriches your flavor with corn from Peru, or with pupusas from Peru, or whatever from Peru. But I will better to start using the word restaurant, because it's what most people are looking for. So that's why it's important to understand a little bit of how the database, how this data of information is used. Now, so when we start writing about our website, we need to make sense. We need to be sensitive that it is not what we want to tell about our business, our product, or our service. It's not what I want to tell about the people that are using online, about my business, about my product, about my services. People are searching something. So I need to know what they are searching, how they are searching, and try to identify those keywords that people are using to find the products that they want. So, for example, if my business is a therapy, I want to know what words people are using. Are they using help? Are they using the word anxiety? So you can do your exercise. You can go online and start looking for other sites that are out there about therapy. And you can try to use Google Trends. And every time you do something, you know, that the search, see what responses you find, so you can find the wording that is used. If you're a travel agency, well, there are no travel agents. Most travel agents, they don't exist. But right, this assume you're a travel agency. What people are what's the kind of businesses that you're looking for, right? The kind of people that you're looking for, people that are going for museums for fun, but maybe people are looking for museums, or people are looking for fun, or people are looking for fees, or people are looking for something. Those are the words that people are looking for. If you have flower shop, if you have a flower shop, you can spend all day putting all my best flowers, and I have the best flowers, and I spent 5 years in the university of this, makes these beautiful flowers, and we can decorate your house. But if the people is looking, when they're looking for flowers, using the word gift, or using the word decoration, or using the word funeral, or using the word condolences, then those are the words that you need to use in your website when you design your website, because that's what people are looking for. So it is important when you run your business. I don't know if you guys, I mean, any one of you has been doing the marketing plan. When you do marketing, it is very important to know the difference between product and benefit, because people are looking for that benefit to clear their anxiety, that benefit they're looking for museums. So that's easier. It's much easier when you understand what is your benefit than what is your product. And this is an exercise that we do in marketing. What is the benefit? Why people are buying what they're buying? Why people are looking for what they're looking, and what the words they're using? And that is important. That is important for you when you start developing your website. Here's no examples, right? House cleaning, cleaning services. You can make the difference. House cleaning or cleaning services. That's the same thing. You can start your business, you can start your website with house cleaning or cleaning services, and you can see how many people are searching for that. And again, as I said, they tell you what other, I mean, it's so detailed, unfortunate, so detailed, but cleaning services with a plural against cleaning service, right? Just adding an S makes a big difference in your search. Another thing, sometimes when you go to Google, when you search for the word cleaning services, at the bottom of the page, it also tells you searches related to cleaning services. What other topics people are clicking or what are looking when they're looking for, and they're telling you here the sentences that they're using. They're using cleaning services San Luis Obispo, or house cleaning services San Luis Obispo, California, house cleaning services near me, move out cleaning services, housekeeping services. They start giving you some keywords that people are looking for. So that is important for you to start getting familiar with that, and probably make your spreadsheet. You need to make your spreadsheet of these keywords that are used in whatever industry you are, in whatever business you are. And you can go, I mean, if you're in retail, you're trying to sell something online, you can do the same thing. You can go to Amazon and start typing the word that you're looking for, and it will tell you just right there. You start typing the word, and it will tell you what options their people is looking for, or what options have you looked before in your history. But at least they're giving you some direction of what are the words that this search engine is looking for. In this case, we were looking for paper towels or paper toys. We were looking for paper toys, but they gives me paper towels. Probably paper toys is not the right word that I'm looking for. Or in this case, I'm looking for navy dresses for women. At the same thing, at the bottom of the page, it will tell me what other searches people are typing or people are using to find the product that I'm trying to sell. So these are another names that when I type navy dresses for women, these are other options that people using Amazon are looking. Navy maxi dress for women, or navy dress for woman fall, or navy dress, or and it gives you some ideas that you can work. Now, technology is progressing so fast. These slides are probably 10 years old. Well, no, the next couple of slides are probably about 10 years, no, probably 5 years old. Technology, and now we know with our artificial intelligence, is taking the same things with images. And it's possible because, as I said, everything is digital. right? Everything is using digits, and everything is tracked by those numbers, by the series of numbers. So it's easy to accommodate the numbers. And it can see that if I search for trees, it will align the trees that are similar to the kind of trees that I'm looking for. Oops. So if I let's say if the image, even though some images are not related, but it's going to tell me if I like this picture, or if I compare it to this one that has more red, this one has more reds and have some stockings and some have some color. This one doesn't have a lot of color. So if I click on this one, it's going to give me something similar that are related to that image. And we did just an exercise, right? I was outside in a parking lot, and I took a picture of this log. Here's a little roadrunner, and immediately Google Lens start identifying the image based on the pictures that we have to start giving me options of, are you looking for this? And this is it was telling me back then, are you looking for a coyote? Or are you looking for a cloud of grass? Or are you looking for a fodder? Are you looking, and then some similar images that they didn't make any sense, right? The images, and these are just cannery, these are just debris, this is a cannon, this is the artificial intelligence was working on trying to give me something similar to what I took. But now it's so much advanced, it's so much faster, that artificial intelligence can mimic your own image, can mimic your own voice, can mimic your own tone of voice, and it can put it together. It can put it together as if you're listening to your own self. So why am I saying all this? When you think of your website, also think of the images that you like people to find, the people are looking for. Think of, when you create your website, think of to whom you're creating the website. This is a part of marketing. I mean, no matter what, we're still being humans, and humans are the ones that do the interaction. You still have to think to whom you want to talk to your consumer. Yes, but you need to know to who's your consumer. Is it a woman? It is a man? Is it a woman that is 25 years old, or is it a woman that is 45 years old, or is it a woman that is 60 years old? Is it a man that is 45 years old, 35 years old, or 46, 60 years old, or they're both? And then at the same time, you have to think, what do you want them to do, or what do you want them to get from your website? And for that, you need to know what's the purpose of your business. I mean, if you don't know the purpose of your business, then probably you will never be able to answer these questions, and you're going to be making a website that is not going to work. Because you need to know your audience, and you need to know your product. And by knowing your product, you need to know the benefit that the consumer is looking for when they sell that product. So you need to think, to whom are you selling that? To whom is your website, and what do you want them to do when you get to your website? Do you want your website to be static? By meaning a static is just a website that provides information, that you're the best therapist, that you are the best school, or that you are the clean services. It just gives information. There's no interaction. It's just an information where people can learn, where people can Google, can respond. I mean, it's a little static. It's just provide a lot of information. Or you want a website that is more interactive. You want to sign to my newsletter. You can send you a quote, or tell me about this, or you start putting forms in which people can download information or upload information. You have forms, you have some interaction. And interaction probably obviously is a retail place, right, where you interact, but not necessarily you need to sell something, something tangible. You just have to have some interaction with customers that they can enroll to a program, and they can get more information. They can download your newsletter. Or the same thing, you want information, you just want information. Or you want them to make an action, you want them to purchase, you want them to click on a specific button and a specific thing. So those are the options that you need to think when you were doing a website. Way much before you start working on a website, you need to make sure what is the purpose of your website. If you're cleaning services, what do you want them to do when they visit your website? Is the website for you if you have cleaning services? Many businesses may not necessarily need to have a website. I mean, yes, it's good to have a website because you have a presence online, but do you really need a website? What's the purpose of the website? What is going to be the purpose of your website? If I'm a janitorial services, of course, I want to generate calls, right? So then I need to make sure that my website is about making sure that people call me for the services that they're looking for. But then you go back, right? You go back. Is the people that are looking for services is visiting websites or is already using another application to find me on the website? So again, you need to know your business, you need to know your product. Another thing that you can think about your before you start your website, you can think about the color scheme. Do you want it to be yellow contrasting with black, or you want it to be blue contrasting with black, or you want it to be blue with white, or you want to be black with red, or you want to be different color? You can start looking for what colors and what kind of font do you want to use. Do you want it to be dark? Do you want it to be vivid? Do you want it to be low? Do you want it to be dynamic? You want it, you have to think of colors that you would like. At the same time, you have to think about the font. What kind of letter do you want? You want a letter that is not decorative, it's just easy to read, or you want a letter with serifs, well, there's little legs that the letters have at the end of the end of the letter, those little serifs, the little books or little well, they call them serifs. Or you want the letter to be more sophisticated, or you want letter, you have to think of what kind of lettering you need to have. All this, since you know who's your customer, what do you want them to do, what color scheme, what type of letter, it's going to be building your brand. So at the same time, you start building your brand when you have a website. If you already have a business card already printed, and your business cards already have the type of letters and everything that you have is the same, you have consistency, then do it that way. If not, you have to rethink everything, because the same experience that the person have online is the same experience that people need to have at your store. It's the same experience that people need to have at your stationery with your business card. And that's part of the brand. That's pretty much what is a brand. Everything is consistent from everything, from the visit to your site, the visit to your store, the newsletter, the print, the business card, the flyer that you did, the poster that you did, the letter that you sent, everything has to be consistent. That's the brand. And also you have to think about what's the interactive flow, right? You want them to start in one page, and then from that page, take them to another page within that page, or you want them to start and then that page into another page. You want like I would say, from top to bottom process, that they click on a page and then from that page they go to the next one and they go to the next one? Or do you want something that is more horizontal, that one page contains all the information that you need, and then the other page provides a different information of what you need, and then the next page provides a different information of what you need? So you can have a top to bottom, or just a straight independent horizontal stages visually of what it is. And what I recommend is use some post-its. So use some piece of paper. You can use a piece of paper. You can use just yellow post-its that you can put the content of your website. Okay, I want them to see if I'm going to sell, I don't know, I'm going to sell, I'm a caterer, right? And I want to make sure that I have my website with catering. Well, you want to say weddings, and from weddings, you see all the options that you have for weddings. Or you have parties, you can have all the options that you have. You can say parties, and then you put weddings, and you can put the parties on the top, and then the parties will be weddings and birthdays. Or you can do weddings, birthdays, and receptions. You can put it in this way, that the experience of the user could be from page to page, or could be from page to different menus. And you can understand the flow. And that's going to be the dynamics that you're going to implement into your website. So obviously the purpose of the website is because you want to have digital presence, right? You got to have this digital presence. So make sure that when you create a website, first of all, it's modern. It's modern, that it is secure, that it is fast, and that it is accessible. And by modern means the visuals, right? The colors, the colors, the visuals, the fonts, and try to keep up with technology, right? That it is secure. Well, we already know that. Well, at this point, I don't know what is secure, but at least you have to make sure that it is you meet some security space if you're going to be using, if you're going to be sharing information from your customers, or if you're going to be using information from your business. Right, make sure that at least if it is hacked, that they don't go into your website, they don't go into your email, they don't go into the emails of all of the customers. That is fast. That means that it is fast. The pictures, they're not too heavy. Sometimes they want to put pictures that are very digital and they're very with a lot of details that make them fast. Make the uploading of the image makes it slow. So you need to make sure that it is fast. You don't have a lot that is fast also in the reading. You don't have a lot of text all over the place, and that is accessible. Accessible means like not everyone is using the cell phone. So the cell phone needs to be I'm sorry, I'm looking at text. Someone text something. Oh, we're going to go on the platforms. Just give me a minute. So the accessible means that you need to have people are using their cell phones, so the cell phone needs to be phone accessible. Right now, most of the most of the websites are phone accessible. So in this case, you need to select the platform that is appropriate and matches your business values. And right now, there are multiple. They're multiple. In Google My Business, you can get a website, very simple. Google gives you a website very, very cheap and very simple with some graphics and that's a couple of pictures. So you may not need three pages or more than two pages, right? It's just one page, you can do it. You can use WordPress. WordPress has multiple options, the deep professional program or the simple small business program. WordPress is probably the leader in website. Even larger companies like I think probably Rolling Stones or Vanity Fair, those kind of publications, they use WordPress. There's Squarespace. Squarespace is also very accessible, very fun, very friendly. You have Wix. That's also another website that it is accessible, friendly. You have to select the one that fits your needs. My recommendation is like to work any of these platforms. They're going to be your vendors. And when you select the vendors, you need to select who has control. You have to have control, not the vendor has to have the control, right? When you have when you work with a vendor, you want to make sure that the vendor accommodates you with whatever you need. If you're going to need deliveries for meat, you need to be the right meat, the perfect meat, the right price, and depends on the quality of your restaurant, right? If you want to sell cheap meat, then your vendor is going to be someone that is sell cheap meat and that delivers only on Saturdays and Sundays, and that works with you to deliver on Saturdays and Sundays the meat, that's fine. But if you want to be a restaurant that, you need to select a grade A or triple A meat, that it is very, very tender when it's cut, and the vendor tells you, well, I can come up only on Wednesdays at 5 o'clock in the morning, but the meat is the one that you like, then you're going to work with that vendor. Well, the same thing, you consider these services as vendors. Each one of them each one has their fees, and each one has their services. So make sure that if you're going to sign a deal with any of this, I would recommend that you make sure that they have 24/7 service support. Why? Because you're running your business, and your business runs maybe from 9 to 5 or from 2 to 9, whatever. And then on Saturdays and Sundays is the time that you're relaxing, or maybe Mondays and Tuesdays, here's the time that you're relaxing, doing your accounting and dealing with the vendors, dealing with your family. So by the time you need to go and check your websites, you're already tired. And it is probably 10 o'clock at night, or it's probably on a Sunday at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And that's the time that you have spare to visit your website. Make sure that anyone that you use, you have that technical support that when you need them, when you have the time to work on it, they're going to respond. Many times I get some people that they do their website with a platform, but the platform only gives services from Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays from 10 to 2. And the life of the business is 24/7. And by the time you think, oh, I didn't call today, oh, I have to wait till Friday. And the time goes by, and it's not, as we saw, your website needs to be accessible and fast, and it deteriorates your user. And then at the same time, make sure that you have the control. Make sure that you have control of your website. We're going to talk about this a little bit more about, because sometimes you can have people that do the website for you. I can charge you $5,000 or $10,000, and I can do the website for you. And they says, yes, I give you. They build the website. But when they build the website, make sure you have control of the most important things we're gonna see next, which is that make sure you have the control of your domain name. The domain name is the most important. The domain name is the most important that you have to have control. Because I mean, the domain name may not be important. I mean, you can change it. I mean, anything can be changed right now on online thing. It's gonna be, it takes some efforts and takes some time. But the domain name is different. The URL is irrelevant, and the website host is just a company. Basically, the way the web hosts, this are hosts. They call these companies our host of your website. I can start with WordPress, but then I can change my domain name to Squarespace, and then I can change my domain name to Wix, and I can change to Google. That depends on that's what it is. So we're going to talk about this right now. So the domain name is the name of the account. Pretty much, I will make an analogy of the name of the account. Your telephone number is your URL, and the website host is your carrier. So let's say you open an account. I open an account, a business account, or an account for my cell phone, and I put Mario Jones. That's the name of the name of the person of the account. The name and the person of the account. And my telephone number is this one: 705-123-4567. And my carrier is T-Mobile. Can I change carriers? Yes, I can change carriers. Can I change carriers and say, okay, my number to remain the same? Yes. And I can say, my name is, now I can go to AT&T. You can change your name becomes a little bit like your domain name, more or less. Even though my name is Peter Smith, but the name of the account is the one. The name of the account and the name of the number, they go together. In a sense, they go a little bit together. Maybe a little confusing, but I try to explain it a little bit more. So the domain name is pretty much what I would say the name of your this is the name, is your birth name certificate, is the name certificate. Your domain name is the name certificate that you have. That name, that's my name, that is going to follow you everywhere. Mario Jones is going to follow him everywhere, and he's going to be the one who's going to open the accounts. It could be in T-Mobile or in AT&T. But my number is where they can find me. Is the digital. This is the digital information that is not in the online, which is the address. The URL is the address of my place. But an address needs to have a place. And what's the place? The place is the website host. The place where the website is. The place is a house. So your name is tied to an address, which is the URL, and the address is tied to to a place where you live, where I can find you, which is the website. So this is why it's important to know the way people search and the words that they use, because most of this, the name, the URL, and the website host can become irrelevant because the way people search, I want to find, I don't know, cat food. I want to find cat food. I Google cat food for little kittens, for kittens, and the options are going to be shown there, and that's how people find the websites. It's not that they're going to find, oh, I'm going to look for Peter Smith catfood.com. The search engine is different than a directory. When you go to the directory or the dictionary, you're looking specifically for something in particular. With the search engine, as we saw earlier, is just a search of, as you type the first letters or you type the sentences, that's what it's going to look for. It's not going to look for specific unless you type specific the name. When we will talk, I mean, it's not part of this conversation. The use of keywords, negative keywords, but it's something that is more for your website. So let's talk about this. So the URL is your address. I'm sorry, is your address. Your address has numbers and letters, right? Which is, address is, as I said, all this digital content. That's your URL. That's your address. That's your address. Your address is 2345 San Felipe Drive, number 25 in Atascadero. That's your address. Your domain name is the place, is your name which is attached to this address, right? So Bagway Product Perfect Science is attached to that. Okay, so for example, in this, so I'm going to have my name, but my name is going to have an address. And my address is going to be the apartment number, but I'm going to be within a place where I can host my website. In this case, this is the building for Squarespace, or this will be the building of Wix. So I can take my name and my address. I can move my address to Wix, so I can move my address to Workspace, but my name is the one that is going to follow me everywhere I go. But then once I go into that place, once I have my space, I need to have I need to have a house. So I need to have an experience. The visitor is going to have an experience. All this is irrelevant, right? What is relevant is what the experience is going to be. And the person, when they walk into my apartment, is what it is, the website. The experience of my apartment is my website. So that's a little bit of the analogy of what it is, the URL, which is in many cases irrelevant, the domain name, which in many cases is also irrelevant, and the host of your website, which in this case is irrelevant. What is important is what is the experience the people that you're going to have, your customer is going to experience in your website. What is the experience of that apartment? Because once you have this website, you can then place it in on you can then have once you design your website, the concept of your website, then you can go to any of these platforms and says, okay, I want this space, I want to rent this space, but I want to rent it as this name. And they're going to give you the address, they're going to give you the domain name, and they're going to help you, build your website. So in this case, for example, this is one of our a lady that has a pottery in Los Osos, Lightweight Pottery. She did her own website. She's using Squarespace. She's using Squarespace, and she did a website using the same platform, the same concepts that we talk about. When she thought about the colors, she thought about the tones, she thought about everything that needs to be in her website, and she developed her own website. As I said before, Google My Business can give you websites. They give you a website for what? They're very simple websites, right? They give you the URL. They give you all this would be your website. This is going to be your URL, but your domain name is going to be homechairs.net. You can have the homechairs.net website. I mean, that's it. That's the domain name. You can buy it for $12 a year. Will it matter in a sense? Not necessarily. What's going to matter is how people are going to find you, how the structure of business is. And the URL at the same time doesn't matter because that's some of the back end of your website. So important is domain name. And it gives you some options, right? Google My Business gives you the retro, the tinto, the spring, and you can just use 1, 2, 3 pages, no more. It can give you something for $12 a year, right? And there's more options of your domain name. If you don't like home chairs, you can put home furniture, or put home furniture info at info instead of .com. You can put a .org, .net, .com, right? So you can buy, you can create it, and you can publish it. You can go to Wix. Wix also provide, they give you to create a website, they give you templates, they give you multiple templates. They are helping you also in what kind of business you have. On Squarespace, you can do the same thing. Squarespace, obviously, they're going to start to claim your domain. It is easier for these businesses to claim your domain within them because you're working with the same contract, the same vendor. I know many clients that they have the domain name, they bought the domain name separately, and now they have the website in a different place. But then they have to remember that they have to pay rent for the website and they have to pay the domain name fee. You have to buy your domain, you pay for your domain name. So when someone else is doing your website, make sure that you have control of your domain name. You have to have control of that. And at the same time, you have to have access to your website. Even though you don't know anything about the website, you need to ask permission that you're part of the administrator of your website. Because in any case, you can fire those people that they're helping you with the website, and you can recuperate the main pieces of your number. It's like, okay, I lost my cell phone. Yes, you lost your cell phone, but you still have the key components. You still need your phone number, the carrier, right? So you can make the decisions. So that is important. But and again, in the Squarespace tells you, they give you options. Oh, what's your site about? Oh, it's about music, it's about restaurants, it's about fashion, it's about gaming, technology, art, personal, whatever you want. They can tell you some templates. And you can design that the templates, the menu is always on the left side of the website. And you can, it's very practical. We're going to spend a little more time on how to create the website, how you're going to you can make your own website. It is very graphically accessible. You can put the blank, you can put the contact, you can put features, you can put details, you can put a gallery of pictures, you can put a blog. I mean, there are tools that are visually friendly. Or you can add a text, or you can put an image, you can put a video, and you just drag or click, and it will open the information for you. The same thing with Google, with WordPress. They will ask you right away what domain to choose your domain. And you can put whatever word you want related to your business if you want, or if not, whatever you want. And they will tell you, oh, that's available or that's not available. If it is available, you can use it. If it's not available, you can buy it. It will cost you, and they will transfer the domain to you. But that's the domain. That's why most of these platforms, they start with what's your domain name. And then once you have your domain name, you can create your as I said, your site can be called later. That's not necessarily. Once you are in the platform, you will have the menu on the left with all the options. It will take you time to probably get familiar with it, but right now technology is quite visually friendly and quite intuitive. That is not, this is just a little hassle. But as I said, if these vendors, because there are your vendors, if you have 24/7 support and you can contact them anytime, they can help you navigate the menu. And again, the menu is also very visual, very effective that you can just drag, click, and do the exercise. You want to put a gallery of pictures, you just click and they give you options. You can put a form and they give you the forms already to fill out. At the same time, make sure that the website that you're using, it is also friendly for tablet or for iPhone, because your design on these platforms is going to look different if you're looking at a website, or if you're looking on a laptop or on a desktop, than if you're looking on a cell phone. So here are a couple of samples, right? This is the Blackfoot pottery, or this one with computers. So here's an example, and I'm going to use a couple of examples from a lot of platforms that are related to design something. In this case, could be Constant Contact or Canva. They're pretty much the same components, the same graph. I would say the same graphic, the same symbols, or the same signs that tell us what is that you want to do. You have a completely blank space, and they give you the options. You want to add a text? Do you want to add an image? You want to add a button? You want to add a divider device divides and space, or is a space, or you have want a video, you want them people to read more. So it tells you something. And this is the image of Canva, the same thing. It is very intuitive. You have a completely blank space that you don't know where to start, but at least you can click on the text to start writing, and they can tell you to add a text box, and you can or select the text box that you like. Or maybe you can click on the elements, and on the elements it tells you, well, you can have an arrow, you can have a line, you can have a circle, you can have a square, you can have sticky notes, you can have shapes, you can have, and it's very intuitive. So all you need is just to click, and if you don't like it, you can always go back with the I didn't like it button, the arrow that goes back. And most of these websites, they have the same structure. In this case, here it is. This is WordPress. This is the blank space. Once you sign up with WordPress, I want that my website, I pay for my domain, and I pay for the hosting of the site to WordPress. There are going to be two different charges. The domain name probably is going to be $12, $13, $15, depending on the domain name. Sometimes could be $100, because it's something that you really, really want, or maybe something that that's not important, or you're lucky that the domain name that you're looking is not that popular. And maybe $300, $500, depending on what package you use for your domain. And it is a white blackboard, a whiteboard. So what do? Then there's this button that says, well, you can click here, and it says, what do you want? You want a paragraph, you want a heading, you want a list, you want a table, what do you want? And you just click and start writing on your website. I want a table. And once you click the table appears. Or no, maybe I want an image, and you click on the image. You can search for what you're looking for. You click an image, and the image should tell you. You can upload it from your computer, or you can select an image from another file, or you can insert an image from an URL. So they give you options. They're very access friendly. Another thing important when you add an image, we're talking about the search engine. When you add an image, there's something that is relevant to the image, which is the alternative text, or it's called the alt text. And probably some of you that make a lot of posts on Facebook or Instagram or Pinterest or TikTok, they want to tell us about the picture, because that description of the picture not only helps them to identify with their artificial intelligence what you're talking about, but it also helps you to increase the possibilities to be found easier, because the alt text, alternative text, is so something that the search engines optimizations look when they're looking for that big data on the web, that big data on the web. So alternative alt text is quite important to consider, and always fill it out. And then on the left of your screen, you're also going to have the menu to preview, or save the draft, or to publish. When you publish, it's published right away. It is published right away. You can save the draft and come back, and you can come back. But once you publish, you can always go back and fix it and then publish it again. When it's published, sometimes it takes, in my experience, some of the websites that we have worked with, it doesn't take more than 24 hours to publish. Sometimes it's just right away, and you can see the changes. And at the same time, always see the preview. Click on the preview to see how it's going to look on the desktop, or it's going to look in the tablet. That will give you a good reference of because what you think is different than what people are looking. And then you can make the changes accordingly. And as I said, in WordPress, you also have the menu in the back on the side, which it could be, you can look for stats, there's your website, there's your settings for your website. What's called the pages. Pages is each landing page. Page is each page of your website. So take your time. I mean, it's not complicated. I know this is a client that from Michigan Community Services that did his own website in Wix. The one that we did with pottery. He just struggled a little bit, but he was able to do it. And this is his website. He put his 4 pages. He put the images. He put the about us. He puts a little bit of who he is. And he put his contact. He put a form. We can contact us, put his address, and they name so people can do their services. So it's not really complicated. maybe time consuming, but it's quite very friendly. If by any chance you hire someone to do the website for you, as I said, the most important things, you have to have control of the domain name and of the credentials to whatever platform they're using. They have to share that with you. I mean, there's not they cannot have exclusivity, because I have cases that then the people, when they want your business, they want the business and they treat you very friendly. Yes, I tell you business, but their job is to get more business. So once you get their business, they forget about you, and then you're looking for them. Say, I need to change this, I need to change that, and then they start delaying your transactions, and then you need to make some changes. And if they leave with everything that you have, and you start again from zero. I mean, I have had cases in which we have to start from zero, and there's no problem. We could just create a new URL, a new website, and then the other one we just try to, eventually dice out. So make sure that happens. So in summary, I mean, I would say, and we're going to go more. This is not this is just a summary of what we talked about. Placing your business online obviously opens your business 24/7. You have to be sensitive to what purpose are you having a website. Places of videos, photos about you're passionate about your business. That's really visual. It's really visual. It's very important. The benefit is that you can connect with your clients 24/7. They can put a form. You can put a form. They can communicate. You can modernize your website. Offering something safe, convenient, and access for information and schedules. Your website. You can do email marketing. You can put a link. You can gather emails. You can put the feature of a chat. You can do transactions online many times. Not necessarily if you want to do transactions online, you can have the transactions online depending on what business you have. You can always process payments online too. It saves the hassle of doing other things. So every time you use any of these platforms, we're not experts. We're not experts on doing websites. We're not experts in the safety for bank transactions. We're not experts. We cannot process the credit cards on our own. We have to hire a third party and to help us build the things. It's like we're not plumbers, right? And we have to hire a plumber. We're not painters. We have to hire a painter. Maybe within a business, I'm a painter, right? But I may not be a bookkeeper, so I need to hire a bookkeeper. So the indigence of the human condition requires that we work with other people. The same thing in terms of work with other people. We work with other companies. You have to take in mind that there's going to be a cost. There's going to be a fee, or they may ask for a percentage of the sales, or they're going to inquire for a monthly payment. So as part of the process when you're designing your website, you're going to be working with third parties. You have to consider that. Are they paying, I'm going to pay a monthly fee, an annual fee? Are they asking for a share of my sales? Are you asking for the cost? You need to make sure the cost. So I think having a website is a new marketing approach, because most customers judge the credibility of a business based on their website. Maybe many times you just think, what business do you have? Oh, do you have a website? Then people look. So that's probably the benefit of having a website, because the majority of the customers judge the credibility of a business based on their website. And many times, you see fancy websites and end up that you have another lousy business on the back of that website. And you can sometimes see that it's a reputable business, but they have a lousy website. So it all depends the experiences. But most consumers judge credibility of business based on their website. Now, I'm gonna move on into something that we call the digital. I don't know how many of you are going to do business with commerce. They sign up because they wanted to do a business on digital commerce. But of course, digital commerce is you have a website where you can sell items. So customers go online to purchase products and services. And right now we know that paying using checks or mail cash is becoming a little obsolete. And accepting digital payments is key in certain issues. So sort of overall, here now with COVID, it took exponentially growth the e-commerce because the distance was important and people were able to transactions without touching the money or being in person. And of course, if you have payments processed faster when you have a digital payment portal because you make the check today, the more it appears in your website, the more it appears in your bank account or so that's something that you have to consider. And then safety, confidence in payment. I mean, it's a high risk, so you have to partner with companies that have that credibility on financial transactions. Of course, when you do your website for commerce and you are going to provide a payment portal or you're going to provide buying an item, you have to be attentive of the speed of your checkout and also on the checkout steps. How many times they have to click to get the order. If they have to click more than 3 times, they're too many. I've seen websites that the person has to click 5 times in order to process a payment, in order to purchase a book, in order to purchase something. That's too many. So you have to be sensitive to that. Make sure that whatever platform you use, the checkout speed is faster, and the checkout steps are less, are very few. So when you do website for commerce, you have 3 options. You can build your own website. You can build your own website with WordPress. You can build your own website with Wix. You can build your website with Squarespace. You just add the WooCommerce or the commerce platform that allows you to process the payments, that allows you to track inventory, allows you to do the things. So you just have an e-commerce plugin like WooCommerce or Icwith or Squarespace or Wix. You can make your own website and it works. So I know people that they do their own website and it works. Or you can use a platform that sells you the business, sells you your item, like Etsy, right? Etsy is not you don't create your website. You just go into Etsy, and Etsy allows you to sell your product. Or you sell your product, or maybe you go to Amazon and you sell your product. There's a platform that sells your product. There's a platform. Or you can do with a third-party website, and probably the third-party website more likely is like Shopify. And with Shopify, you can create your own website, and at the same time, you can sell your products. So the third-party website is like does this 2 together. So you can do your own site, you can do a platform, or you can do a third-party website. And of course, you can find YouTubes and videos about how Shopify works, or how any of these items works. The key thing, as I said before, when you do any of this kind of websites, make sure that you have customer support 24/7. Why? Because more likely the time that you're going to be checking your website is not going to be the time in which you have it's going to be more likely an odd time. It's going to be on a Sunday at 4 o'clock. And when something goes wrong, it's probably going to be the worst time. It's going to be like on Saturday at 7:30. So make sure you have 24/7 support. And again, as I said, the key components of any website: keywords, images, and descriptions. We're going to talk about descriptions right now. Make sure that the distribution, or what's called the fulfillment, is going to be by you. You're going to pay the fees to the mailer and you're going to mail it. It's going to be by the platform. Sometimes in this case, Etsy can pay for it, or maybe Shopify pay for it, maybe Amazon, or by a third party. You can hire another party, another vendor within the e-commerce, like UPS or Postal Service or some other place that they can help you do the fulfillment of the distribution of your payment. And make sure that all this, any of these vendors will have fees and royalties. They're going to charge you for something. And also make sure that when you work with any of the vendors, cybersecurity is important. Information and banking is important. Make sure that at least you're protected with that. Even the big companies have been hacked, don't take the risk of making sure. That means just making decisions on yourself. So, in here are just a couple of quick examples about Etsy. You can create your account, very simple. And the most important things that we're going to talk about, and this is also important in websites. I think I missed one slide. It is important that the title of your product, the titles of your website, and the first 12 letters of every paragraph, they use those keywords that you found that people are searching for. So you have, we talk about the search engine. We're going to start working on the photos. Again, make sure that the photos are not heavy, so they load faster. And the title, as I said, the title of the product or the title of your website, make sure the title is what people are looking for. And I'm going to see an example of a bad website. On the description, make sure that the 12 first letters, 12 first words are about the kind of product that people are looking online. If you start by saying something about, oh, this is a beautiful shoe that this is black and has nice shoelaces and it's very comfortable, you just wasted your time and you're less likely gonna be fine. You need to make sure that what people are looking is, if they're looking for comfort, start with comfortable shoes. This comfortable will help your knee. People are looking for. You need to look for what people are looking for to make sure that at least you rank higher in the searches. So description is very important. Many times in some sites, they ask you to use tags, and the tags is like the hashtags, simply another way to help the search by putting, as we saw at the beginning of the session, we had this book and we type an A and the system of for all the letters that start with A. Well, the tags is also something that will help you. It will help the search engine identify or narrow the search and save time in the search for your product. And again, you can do the pricing, you can select the shipping. Shopify is the same thing. You can sign up very easily. It's very easy to sign up. Probably some of you already signed up, but maybe you are using it. The same thing. They're very friendly. Help you what you're looking for. You can set it up. Again, on the left side is the menu, and you can find the same thing. You can find your product, but it's going to have the same thing. Your title, and again, the title. Make sure that it's a title that is what people are looking for. That's why the search engines is important. You have to see what people are looking for with the product that you're selling, and the paragraph. Again, the first 12 letters. 12 letters. Make sure that they are related to what people are looking for. It's not what you're selling, it's what people are looking for, because they're the ones people are looking for something online. They're not listening to you. They're looking for something. This is a market. This is marketing that it is active, is proactive from the sense of the searcher. So that's why it's important. The paragraph and the title, make sure that you use what they're looking for. And the media, the same thing. Again, you put the picture. The picture will help, and they will ask you for your out description, your out alternative text. Again, tags. You can use as many tags as you want. You use them all. Use them all, but be savvy on what kind of tags you want to use. And the same thing with the price. Shipping is it's just some images of that you can select if Shopify want to perform the delivery or you want to do it yourself. They give you the options, and they give you the business plans that you want. This is an example of a little website that there's a lot of work. There's a lot of work to be done in this website. And for example, in this one, I don't know how many people will look for the word infant when they or use the word infant when they're looking for snow, for clothing for snow, or kids clothing. I mean, if my business is about snow, I need to start using the word of people what they're looking for snow. What is what they're looking for snow. So I know I'm using kids, but this words I think probably I would have used the word snow or ski instead of ski clothing. I say ski kids clothing or ski clothing for kids. You know, I have to play with the words because that's what people are looking. I'm not looking for kids. I'm never going to type kids. I mean, if I'm looking for this kind of clothes, maybe I'm not going to do it. Maybe customers are not looking. That's why the tools are there for you to look for those words. The same thing with the word infant or the bunting suit. You know, it was intention. It's that the client is telling me what he wants to sell, but it's not responding to what I'm looking for, to what the customer is looking for. So that's why it's important. And the same thing, you use the word palms, okay, palms, but maybe people are looking for palms. Yeah, I don't know. Snow necessities, okay. But look at the product. The first 12 letters, in a sense, they're a waste of the description of the item. This is a 100% acrylic hat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, to warn. It says, this is, no one is looking for this is. At least no one is searching in the search engine, this is. So I'm losing 2 words there. 100% acrylic. Maybe people are looking for 100% acrylic. But what are the possibilities that I'm looking for 100% acrylic, this kind of pumps? So I'm not using the keywords that I'm looking here. I'm just using acrylic hat, 100% acrylic hat. Okay, hat. But is this fall in the category of hat? If I'm looking for a hat, maybe I'm looking for a cowboy hat, or maybe I'm looking for a hat. So I'm not using keywords here that are related to the product that I'm looking. If I'm looking for cold, warm, snow, fun, you know, those are the keywords, those are the words that I need to start using in order for me to generate the system. So when they come to us, they say, you know, I opened a website, but I'm not getting any traction. Well, there is some, I mean, not, I won't tell you not all of them, but you know, there's some. And then kids, okay, the kids, are this related to kids? Yes, maybe. The thick, warm is another word that, you know, so that's the purpose of understanding how the internet works. So we can at least do what is within our control to make sure that we're going to be rank higher in the search of options. So this is an example on how, you know, the keywords and the narrative of the first 12 letters are important for a website. Here's another example. Maybe this is a little more visual. This has more visuals. This is with Shopify. You know, they have the colors. This person obviously looked for the theme, the color. Compared to this one, it was just white and black, but this one took the time to identify a color that goes with whatever they're selling, right? The colors, the themes, the graphics, the fonts, you know, and they work the steps of the process. And of course now Shopify and other vendors, you know, they help you to help people with some disabilities. You know, some people have seizure with colors, or maybe vision impaired profile. You want to turn it on or not off, or cognitive disability or ADHD friendly profile. You know, they're vendors that help you even to work with people with disabilities compared to others that they may not have it. But the last one is probably Amazon. Make sure that, you know, Amazon, they charge you for items sold. I mean, they charge you a fee for each item that you sell, just like Etsy or Shopify. You know, if you sell 10,000, then you become the product becomes mine. You know, like that kind of thing. So just make sure you read everything. But I want to use this example of this lady. You know, this lady, she has her own website. She creates her own website, but you can see the theme of her jewelry and the graphics. Very simple. The color, the font. You know, it was the sign. He has her own website. The images are the same. She has the shop payments, about us, and everything. Just the basic website. When she goes into Amazon, she creates also a profile in Amazon. She uses the same concept. One of the key issues in websites that you have consistency. You have the same font, you have the same colors, you have the same templates, you have the same thing, because it's easier for the website to start looking for something that has similarity. It's just like the letter A when we were starting the session. If you look for the letter A, it's easy to start looking for the letter A to start looking for a letter, because there's that consistency. When you have consistency, your name, title, order of letters, graphics, and colors, and position of pictures and everything, it is much easier for the search engine to find similarities and help you rank faster in the search engine. Right. So here's the samples of the earrings, the same thing. And basically, you know, as part of the search engine, she can buy advertising within the search engine. Within Etsy, you can buy advertising, and that can help you rank your product higher. Or simply you can just promote by the description, right? Just by the description of the product. And this put light blue glass bead earrings. You know, she puts the word earrings towards the end, and the light blue, because people are looking for light blue earrings. You know, she was very savvy in putting the product description there. And I think that's, let me see, I have a question here. Oh.
Actually, Dave, there doesn't appear to be any questions in the chat box at this time.
Okay, yes, I think that's it for my presentation. So we can open the session for any questions or any comments. If you have any questions, you can talk about your business, and we have, I would say, 8 minutes, 10 minutes to open for questions.
And if anyone has questions, you can feel free to unmute your mics. Oh, there you go, Mary. Go right ahead.
Hi. Thank you. That was a lot of really helpful information, and I appreciate your analogies. I'm actually working with someone fairly low budget wise to put together a website, probably using Squarespace. I already have the domain, but when you were talking about this, in terms of like when they're done, what if you want to tweak it? What if it needs help? I don't know if I want to have someone available always to fix that, or if I'd like to learn it myself. What would you suggest if I decide I want to change things up or add something? Do I need to rely on somebody who already created it for me, or can I how do I teach myself, or what would you suggest?
Are you the business owner?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And what is the product that you're selling, or what the service?
I'm a coach, so it's not, I don't have actual physical products.
Oh, okay. Well, you know, the most common thing that I see when people have websites are updates. I need to update my schedule. I need to put this picture. I need to put this picture up. I need to change the paragraph. Those are basic things that if you can learn them, that will be easier, because you're not going to pay them to do that.
Right.
And and just the basic, just probably learn how to upload pictures, and you can ask them, show me how to, or you can even go on Google, and if you're the account owner, the account manager, and they have the chat side on the session. You can visit how to upload graphics, how to change a paragraph, and that's something that I would recommend just to learn the basics.
Yeah.
There are
Okay,
other
good.
things that, yes, you need to create another page, or you need to link it to something that, I mean, I don't know, to the credit card or more sophisticated, then you can use the people that know more. But I would learn how to make a picture change and how to modify a paragraph.
Okay, good. Thank you.
You're welcome. Good luck.
All right, Dave, we have a question in the chat box from Bree. It reads, if I had a website through WordPress and now have let it go, when I pay the host, will my site be back or will I start over?
Okay, you have a website through WordPress and now left it, left it in. How long did you let it go? I mean, I think, well, sometimes they keep the templates for a certain period of time. Oh, 3 years. Oh, wow, 3 years. Yeah, probably have to start all over. You can check with WordPress if you have the contact. Try to log in and or try to talk to them and see what they have to say. Probably if you still have the domain, that's a good thing. If you lost the domain, probably the domain is gone. You need to buy it again. But the domain is different than the website design and the host. Sometimes the host keep the templates. 3 years is too far. I just had a case with a client that 2 months. She missed some emails and her website went down. So she had to contact the host, and the host revived it, because they kept the templates for 3 months. After 3 months, they just they get rid of them. But you can call. Maybe I don't know the terms of WordPress. But 3 years is a long time, so probably you have to start over again.
Let's see here. We do have a question from Christy Brown. I started a website this year that is for both my band and for retail sales of art. Is it a terrible idea to have both on one site?
I don't think so. It's a good idea. I mean, you can capitalize. Just make sure that the keywords are right there when you're selling your art. I mean, I'm assuming that the art is music, or if it is graphic arts. But yeah, I think it's fine. You can capitalize on having both at the same time. I mean, it's just a practicality. I need to see the website, and probably, I mean, if there's something that both elements support each other, that's fine. But let's say I'm going to say something radical, right? If you are opera singer and you're selling something art that is not related too much to the quality of, not the quality, but the category of the opera or the stigma of opera, then probably will be something to different things. Then do it to different. But if one complements each other, that's fine.
I've got Anita that says I have a website with WordPress. Anita, did you have any questions that you wanted to ask pertaining to your website with WordPress?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Can
Go
you
right
hear me?
ahead. Yes, we
Yes.
can.
So I have a website with WordPress and I'm trying to do blogging, but I don't know the difference. Someone told me that you have to have like a .org or .com to make money off of that. I don't know. Is that something that I could get clarity on? If you don't mind.
Yeah, the .com or the .org or the .net, it's just the way you're going to be hosted in the application. What are you selling? What's your business?
So initially it was for a service based business, but now I just want to use it for blogging.
Oh yeah, for blog, it doesn't matter, because as I said, the key is when you market your business, try to market by the name, and then when you are putting the hyperlink in your marketing, just put the name. If it is marketing in social media, in electronics, just put the name and hyperlink the website, and people, when they click on the name, it may maybe not even need to see what if it is .org or .net. I don't know if that makes any sense of what I'm telling you.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, you know what a hyperlink is, right?
Right, yes.
Yes. So you don't really need to. It doesn't make any difference if it is .net, .com, whatever the dot is. It doesn't matter.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.